He had about 8 shots in the second half, just kicking where he feels as if he wants to kick. You guys have given him so much freedom. So you should chill, man. I want to face Barcelona. I want Barcelona. Give me Barcelona.
I only have one thing to tell you. It is a stubborn rat that goes to sniff the cat's nose.
Okay, Petiducci.
Ramsey. Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of the Score Vault. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you're having a good week so far. Cedric, please give us an intro.
Guys, before we go ahead, please like, share, and subscribe. Damn, last week was an amazing week, trust me.
Yeah, he was something.
Yeah, technically, I think it was the first podcast and we had so much love. So thank you guys out there. We really appreciate. And going further, we'll like about 1,000 likes to go ahead to the third podcast. So please go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys. Coming on for the second episode of this Score Vault, we'll be talking about a couple of things. The first thing we'll be talking about just a normal sports talk, right?
Yeah.
Normally, the weekend recap, it was a very interesting weekend. Then we'll talk about the coming week. You know, there are very good things coming on the horizon. Champions League draw.
The NFL next week.
Trust me, it's going to be an exciting week.
Yeah.
And then obviously we'll talk about the Premier League and the games coming. And then obviously we look at the games, betting and everything, you know, look at the odds and see how we analyze the odds. So it's very, very interesting. So first of all, we'll be starting with the weekend recap. Tell me, what do you think about the Chelsea game? I'm not going to talk much.
Nothing was special about that game, brother.
What?
I mean, you guys beat West Ham 5-1, right?
That's not special.
Was it like last year or 2 years ago? You guys won 6-0, right?
But it doesn't mean so that 5-1 isn't special.
There's nothing special there.
Against West Ham, a Premier League proven team?
Wait, hold on. Last week, right?
Yeah.
What happened when Sunderland came to the Premier League? They beat West Ham 3-0. A promoted team beat West Ham without even considering. You guys actually considered one goal.
No, but they were playing in Sunderland. So that's Sunderland is a big Premier League team that just came in, but he has been there before. They were playing in their stadium and it was very exciting. West Ham came to their stadium. After West Ham lost the match and they were playing in the London stadium, you know exactly how noisy that stadium is. They scored us first and we won them 5-1 without Cole Palmer. What are you saying, man?
Okay, good job. You guys have won your trophy of the season so far, right?
Yeah. That's a trophy.
No, but I mean, listen, I understand, you know, that was a very good win. Obviously, it was a statement win on the road. Yeah. I didn't expect Chelsea to win like that on the road. So I'll give you guys that 5-1. That's quite impressive.
Valid.
But at the same time, you know, you guys still need to show us that you can compete for the Premier League, you know, by beating a very, very top team. You know, I think West Ham, they have some issues right now, you know, losing back-to-back games, you know.
Yeah.
But I do think that was a very good win from Chelsea on the road without a star player in Cole Palmer. So I think that was a very good win. And you guys now have like the chemistry, you guys have the morale to continue. So that was a good game for sure. That was a good game. Definitely not the best game of the weekend because it was slightly one-sided.
Yeah.
But still very steamy win from Chelsea. I know you're happy right now, but you know, it's just a matter of time before you guys crash and burn, right?
Okay. Well, people crashed and burned, but so another team won 3-2 at the brink of it, like pretty much an own goal. Do you know that team?
Which team?
The team won 3-2, considering like at the end of the game they had to score an own goal for them to even win the match. Is Barcelona really? Are they really interested in playing this season?
Bro, don't talk about my team like that, brother. Listen.
Are you interested in playing?
Do you know that Levante is a very tough place to play in?
Oh, they didn't just get promoted? You're talking about something.
Yes, but listen, those guys are like giant killers. That's how they're called in Spain. When they were in the Premier League, they didn't actually lose a game to Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. They actually drew both games against Atletico Madrid.
That's history.
So it's actually a big game for us because it took all 3 points. That's the main thing.
That's Alexander the Great stuff. That's all history.
Brother, I could say the same thing about you guys. At home, starting the season, just coming off of winning the Club World Cup, you guys couldn't win. You guys couldn't score versus Crystal Palace.
Palace had won City and won Liverpool.
One City where?
The FA Cup. They won the FA Cup.
That City wasn't a good team back then.
Yeah, not serious, man.
Brother.
You're not serious.
Listen, brother. We are going to concede goals. You understand? Barcelona is going to concede goals, you know. But the main thing is that we're going to outscore you. That's our principle. We're going to outscore you. You know, if you score 2 goals, we're going to score 4.
Okay.
If you score 4 goals, we're going to score 5.
Like you scored in Milan.
I mean, that was a one-off game. What did we do against Real Madrid?
One of important game now.
What did we do against Real Madrid?
Don't bother. I'm waiting for Barcelona versus Chelsea in the UCL draw. I'm waiting for it.
You're waiting for us.
I'm waiting for
Why are you going to play Barcelona in the Champions League?
I mean, I want to just make you guys keep quiet. But yeah, I mean...
Wait, so you want to make us keep quiet?
For sure.
Listen, brother. You don't go... a dog doesn't go looking for bones in the lion's den, okay? So, you want to play us because you want to experience the what it takes to play a top team. I can understand.
Oh.
You know, but you can't just say you want to teach us a lesson or you want to beat us. You guys won't do that in the Champions League. But if your dream comes true and you guys have to face us, it's a dance you have to dance, my brother.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, what about the game that was played yesterday? Liverpool went on the road to play Newcastle. Okay. Newcastle scored 2 goals with 10 men. At home, Liverpool was away. What are you going to say about that? It's really the same thing.
There was so much history in that game. There was so much history.
You could say the same thing about Liverpool.
I can just call it the Alexander Isak derby. Everybody wanted to prove to Liverpool. They were so angry. All the Newcastle fans were so angry. They were trying to prove to Liverpool, give a point, out there. So that's exactly why they were so aggressive. You see Anthony Gordon going in fully for his tackle and getting a red card. They were so aggressive because it was that kind of a derby, And that's exactly how Newcastle played. St. James Park is a hell of a place, Very noisy, extremely noisy. So I could definitely expect that. But the thing which was most painful to me was just because the person who scored the winning goal, Rio Gumoha, is a Chelsea
former
player.
Chelsea player. Yeah.
So I mean, it's so painful to see that most of our players, like, good stars have left our teams, like Kevin De Bruyne, Mohamed Salah, Jamal Musiala, and now Rio Gumoha are doing extremely well.
So the problem is the team, right? So is Chelsea the problem?
Nah. That doesn't mean. It just means that we're a good academy. Like we're a good team.
That's a good point. Listen, guys, I don't hate Chelsea. Okay, I like Chelsea, but this guy is preventing me from liking Chelsea. So we're gonna see. What about Arsenal though? Arsenal had a terrific game against Leeds.
Yeah.
After a very tough game against United, I mean they still won the game. But they won it out of, I would say, playing defensively. And it wasn't a good performance from them overall. Yeah. But they won 5-0 against Leeds. And then now they've lost key players. So what do you think about Arsenal injuries? And do you think it's going to hinder them from getting a couple of wins? What do you think about that?
I mean, I feel like Arsenal are very lucky. Why am I saying they're lucky? They're lucky because they got Madueke. They got Madueke because they were expecting him to play on the right-hand side. Sorry, on the left-hand side. That's replacing Gabriel Martinelli. But right now, I mean, you can see that they have Madueke who can play on that Saka side. Yeah. And then they also have Max Doman. His debut wasn't extremely impressive. He won a penalty, but to be fair, it's all the English hype. But it wasn't extremely impressive, Yeah. He came and made a couple of plays that just looked funny, So it wasn't extremely impressive, to be honest. That's just clean and clear. But at least they have some support right now. They have Madueke and then Max Doman. And then technically Ethan Wanyeri, even though he plays kind of back, but he can replace Odegaard as his injury right now. Mm-hmm. So they are lucky. And then right now they also have Eze.
Oh yeah, big player right now. He's very good.
And he's not only a big player, he's been an Arsenal fan for as long as possible. So I even heard that he actually called Arteta when he was about to sign for Spurs just to give himself just to try out. So guys,
he did call.
Yeah, he did call Arteta just before he was signing, before he was, like, when Spurs were approaching him, he called and told him and called and
this is the last chance.
So yeah, guys, this is just this talking to you, if you have an opportunity, knock on the door. Don't just sit and expect that thing to walk into you. Somebody who has made so much money, Eze, and then he can still take his phone and call another manager.
Exactly, yeah. So, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal. So I feel like Arsenal are lucky. The only thing I can get from the match is that with Gyökeres scoring, I mean, it was good. He scored and everything, but I still feel they need to integrate him into that play. They need to, because the 2 goals he scored, the first one was personal action.
Yeah.
He took the ball and actually had to run and then cutting.
Yeah, just what he does.
But that was because Leeds have a very open, So when you play against a team that is very compact, like if Arsenal play Crystal Palace that is very compact.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a tough.
You're not going to
Nottingham Forest.
You're not going to body Chris Richards or Nottingham Forest. You cannot body those type of defenders. It's very difficult. So I think they still need to try and integrate Gyökeres inside very well. So.
Yeah. And they also have a cheat code. Sometimes when you play games against teams with different defensive approaches, you have to try so many things out. Yeah. And right now I think Arsenal have a tool in a belt, which is the corner kicks, where I think they've scored 12 goals more than every other team. Just from set pieces, just from the corner kicks. Yeah. So they have a way of moving guys in the box and they just...
Man, I feel that's some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's funny though. You really just score, they actually scored 3+ goals against Manchester United the last 2 games.
Yeah.
by just corner kicks. It's crazy, right? So that's actually a good tool that they can use. If the game gets difficult, they can use that to cross corners to score. And then they are also very defensively solid. They can park the balls, they can press very well. And then they have some good guys in the midfield too. You've got Rice, you've got Zubimendi, you've got Eze now, who's going to be an attacking player.
Yeah.
They have some good players, but, I think this game, we're going to talk about the game against Liverpool, but that game is going to be a big game, and we can see how far Arsenal are, when it comes to how deep the roster is. This is an early test for them without Saka and Odegaard, and, that's really going to be an interesting one.
An interesting game, City versus Spurs.
Bro. For some reason, Spurs always gets to City. I don't know.
I think it's just very funny because for the past season, when Spurs has been winning City, it's kind of like, like a kryptonite thing. But I feel like this match, they actually outplayed City.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the game against PSG, when they're playing, they played very well for like 80, like up to 18 minutes. And then after Thomas Frank went into his defensive approach, where he was taking out offensive players like Kudus and bringing in defensive players.
Mm-hmm.
But this game, he removed them and he put more offensive players.
Exactly.
Odube, who came out was pressing up top, and that made it in such a way that City couldn't do anything.
They couldn't do anything.
I mean, even if they increased the time for the game to like, let me say 2 hours, they still wouldn't have won. Like, it was just trash from City.
Yeah.
And I feel like they also need to work on Ryan Cherky a little bit.
Yeah, he was really lackluster. He wasn't really moving fast. He was lazy.
Same thing like Florian Wirtz. Same thing like Florian Wirtz. Like those guys just in the field, they feel like it's the Bundesliga or you just take the ball and you're walking around the field.
Yeah.
They're gonna body you, man.
Yeah.
They're lucky that exactly like Florian Wirtz played against Newcastle, where you have people like Joelinton, you have Sandro Tonali, you have Victor Guimaraes, you have Bruno Guimaraes. Very strong players.
Yeah.
So you just can't do that in the Premier League. Yeah. So I feel like Cherky, he has to. You're not here on legs. You're not here on legs up and down.
That was a very tough game. Man City couldn't play out of the back.
Yeah.
Spurs were so effective at pressing up front.
Yeah.
And I think I saw a statistic that said Man City had a first shot on target like in the second half, like after almost an hour, that was when they had a first shot on target. So that was extremely bad for a team that is trying to win the Premier League, playing at home against Spurs, which means they still have to go on the road next week to Wembley next year or next the second leg to play against Spurs. So that's also going to be like a tough game.
Yeah.
So for me, bro, I think we saw the 4-0 win against Wolves and we thought it was something, but we have to still see more games to know where Man City is, because Wolves is not really that strong. They lost this past weekend again.
Yeah.
Spurs, you could say Spurs City's kryptonite because they've been beating City. They have to play a team next weekend, so we're going to see. But for me, bro, I think City needs to play aggressively. They have to be more aggressive up front. They have to move very faster, because right now the Premier League, bro, you have teams that can defend, you have teams that can counter, and you have teams that are hungry. Spurs, they're a hungry team. They won their first trophy, the Europa League, so now they have to try to win the Premier League. So I think they have to step it up. The possessive game, all the taking your time to break down the team. I think you have to step it up and be more direct, So that's what I think about Man City, bro.
What about the most interesting game, or one of the most interesting games of the weekend? Bayern demolishing Leipzig.
I knew Leipzig was going to lose the game, bro.
But not that bad.
6-0. I mean, Bayern has a way of beating down. Bayern is one of those teams that they don't really care if they're 3-0 up. I don't understand. Those guys are wicked.
Like Bayern, Barcelona, I can remember one 8-2 game. But let's not talk about that. What are you saying?
Yeah. So,
some teams,
6-0.
Some big teams don't concede like 8-2, they are more of, but things like Barcelona, the Thomas Müller team, I cannot really talk much about that, but let's just go back to big teams.
Yeah, that's the Champions League is a competition for big teams, big teams play in the Champions League, so sometimes some big teams win games, some big teams lose games. It's part of the game. Inter is a big team. They lost 5-0 in the Champions League final to PSG, who just won their first Champions League.
Yeah.
So you can't, in the end, Inter Milan is still a big team, bigger team than PSG, even though they lost to them 5-0 in the Champions League finals. Barca is still a big team. Even though they lost 8-2 to Bayern, they're still a big team. They're bigger than Chelsea. They're bigger than many teams in the Premier League. Definitely bigger than PSG. So yeah. But focusing on the 6-0,
do you
think the Bundesliga is a wrap? Because Leverkusen lost their first game at home. Like, that is crazy.
Everything sacked. That guy should just be. I mean, last one was very. I used to enjoy watching Leverkusen games, man. They have
entertaining.
They have a soundtrack when they score. La 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 la. Da, 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 da. I mean, it was very, very interesting last season. Like, anytime you want to see Victor Boniface has scored, Patrick Schick has scored, it was very exciting.
Yes, and you got guys like Florian Wirtz who were doing whatever they were doing at the time.
Yeah.
But it's actually very funny. Like, I think they had a nickname, like, Bayern never lose.
Never losing, you know.
Now they just lost their first game at home.
Yeah, it's terrible. I think the Bundesliga is a rap, man. Harry Kane, that guy is a magician. The way he scores, the way he plays, I feel like that guy is like pretty much the best, like out and out striker. He's the best by far right now.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah,
man,
like,
I think it's a rap. I think it's a rap, to be honest, except some injury, of course, you know, except like Harry Kane gets an injury, and then because right now I think they're looking for another 9. They're talking to Nicholas Jackson.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I think the only things, maybe we can think that maybe we will see somebody gets an injury or a couple of things, but they also have Olise, the guy.
Yeah, so
Olise, the guy
he's so good.
The guy is so good.
He's so fit right now. He's very fit. He can play full games. He can really make more.
Luis Diaz.
He's getting what he deserves. Yeah. Like, scoring in his Super Cup, scoring in his Bundesliga debut.
Yeah.
He's having a good time.
And he's getting the bag.
$203,000 more per week.
Liverpool are giving, they're giving 65,000
per week. And then he got like 200 plus
on
top of that.
That's crazy.
I mean, now I understand why though. I mean, I used to think, you know, before playing in a big team is the ultimate.
Yeah.
But we think about getting £200,000 more per week. Bro, that can get you to move. And Bayern is also a very big team. So it's actually a win-win for Diaz because he's definitely going to win a trophy.
For sure.
This season, he's going to compete in Champions League almost every year. Yeah. So he's having definitely a very good time. But outside of Bayern though, let's say something happens. Who do you think can compete for the Bundesliga now? Do you think Dortmund can do it?
Dortmund is very funny because I don't even know. Right now, they have Cyril Guirassy. That guy is a good striker, man. I don't know why many teams didn't rush for him. Like,
exactly.
For example, Man United were going for Sesko, maybe because they're going for a younger striker. But I felt like if they wanted someone to have an immediate impact, I felt like Cyril Guirassy is a person. Like, that guy is a striker. But so Dortmund is kind of good, you know, with Karim Adeyemi, Cyril Guirassy, Joe Bellingham, Julian Brand. They have a couple of good players, but I don't know if they have that drive to really go for the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll be an underdog. You know, just the same way like Leipzig came in, I don't know if there'll be an underdog that comes into.
Yeah.
So far, it's been just one game. So, I mean, you can look forward to that.
Yeah, and then Dortmund also, they have a way of drawing games and losing some unnecessary games.
3-3, like.
3-3, you just drew a game against Pauli. Yeah. It's like, what are you trying to achieve, you know? That's the thing with Dortmund. Like, sometimes they'll win games and then they'll just lose some kind of game. So that's the thing I fear about Dortmund competing for the Bundesliga.
Yeah, I think the best thing about Dortmund is just the fact that the stadium is good. Like,
yes, they have a very good stadium.
Loud and everything, but apart from that, there's nothing to write home about.
Yeah, actually, I watched one of the games where they played on the road against, I think it was a 4-tier team or 3-tier team, and they won 1-0. That was a strike by Guirassy. They don't really play the game like they want to win sometimes. It's like they just play because they want to get it over with. But for me, I think Frankfurt is actually stepping up. You know, they won 4-1 over the weekend. And they also have like a good record in the Bundesliga. So I think that's also a good team. But Bayern is just unstoppable, man. Those guys have been winning the Bundesliga for 10 straight years. And the Leverkusen snapped one of their winning streaks. They won again last season. Right now, they're just gearing for the future. But yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see what comes next in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, for sure. Back to the Premier League. One thing most people are doing right now, the FPL, Fantasy Premier League, I think it's been an interesting week. Most people captain Cole Palmer because they're playing West Ham and they were expecting him to give a huge, score a number of goals or something, but obviously he didn't play. Then I just saw somewhere that somebody triple captained Jurgen Timber. That guy scored 2 goals. He gave about 24 points.
2 headers.
Yeah. He gave about 24 points. So that guy had like times 3, 70-something points. How do you triple captain Jurgen Timber? Guys, I can just tell you.
He's probably an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, But even if you wouldn't triple captain Saka or maybe Gyökeres, you triple captain
Timber. Of all people.
Some people.
I mean, you could captain maybe Gabriel because he might be one person who could score the headers.
Exactly.
But he went to Timber, the right back. So it's actually very funny.
I'm thinking some part back in the future. Like some people back in the future because that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Man, I mean, it was an interesting week, guys. But so, hey, guys, tell me, what do you think? What was the best game of the weekend? The best score line. I mean, there have been interesting score lines. Real Madrid winning 3-0, Barcelona 3-2. But but what was the best game for you this weekend? Write down in the comment sections, and tell us your best reactions. Like, we want to hear that. So put all of that in the comment section. I would like to talk about that with you.
Yes. And before we continue to the next phase, you mentioned Madrid winning. I mean, I'm a Barcelona fan. I want to just talk about my rivals a little bit. 2 wins, 2 clean sheets, one against Osasuna, now one against a promoted team, Oviedo.
Yeah.
Watching both games, what is your take about Madrid so far? Do you think they're going to make defensive improvements from last year, or do you think they haven't had a test yet to test that back line and to be in a position where they have to actually sit back and defend? Because those 2 games they've been, they've had a better position and they've been in control of the ball. But do you think they've been improved at the back so far?
I think with Harrison, to be honest, I feel like he's an improvement. But the main thing about Xabi Alonso is that even if you see him when he was playing even when he was coaching in Leverkusen, he's kind of a person that when he score 1, they score 2 goals, for example, they kind of pass the ball a lot. They move the ball around a lot so that, I think their way of defending is having possession. That's the way of defending, by having possession and then stripping you off the ball. And the only thing I'm seeing here is that you don't have those players to keep that kind of boring possession. Yeah. Because in Leverkusen, you have the ball, give to Xhaka, he takes the ball, give it to Ezekiel Palacios, gives it to Xhaka, and they turn around, and it's very easy to go around continuously. But with players like Valverde, Tchouaméni, I'm not quite sure on their one touch, one pass. And that's why he's bringing Adagule in a lot, because his one touch, one pass is very good. Ball reception and stuff like that. It looks very good. But I think defensive wise, what they'll work on is having more possession of the game.
Yes, that's a very good one.
Yeah, so I think that they'll have more possession before they try to attack. It will not just be from the defense to attack. That's why I think they even try to bench Trent Alexander-Arnold. Okay. Because defensively is a little bit shaky, but most of his balls takes them. He tries to spray them out to Kylian Mbappe and
Vinicius. Yeah,
I think that's something they'll probably dial down on a little bit, just because Xabi Alonso likes possession of football. He likes to play very well, play, and then before attack space. That transition, I think it's good, obviously, when you have fast players, but I think it will die down a little bit. But I think we'll just wait and see.
Yeah. No, that's actually a very good take. And for Dean Houston, he's very composed. He has very good passing accuracy. And even though he hasn't faced a really tough striker like Lewandowski, I mean, it's always easy for us to play against Madrid, but you're talking about teams like Alex. Maybe we're going to really test Madrid at the Champions League, to be honest. Yeah. Because even right now, Atletico is not really performing at their best. They lost the game to Elche.
Yeah.
They drew at home against another team. I don't know who that was. But they haven't won a game yet. So
it's terrible. I think
it's terrible. So right now, Barca is really the only team that can actually beat Madrid in La Liga. So which means that if you want to test Madrid at a highly competitive level, we're going to have to wait to the Champions League. But for me, I think that's a very good start. Winning back-to-back games with the clean sheet. Mm-hmm. It's very good. And then I also noticed that Alonso is doing a lot of rotations. In addition to those tactical changes by sitting out Trent, he also sat out Vinicius. He brought in Rodrigo. So I think indirectly he's communicating with players to say, hey, things are not going to be like Ancelotti, where Vinicius used to play 90 minutes, even in preseason games.
Yeah.
Vinicius will play all the entire 90 minutes, So I think he's just letting the players know that, all right, you guys have to rest. It's not mandatory for you to start a game, So I think he's off to a good start, but obviously it's going to come to an end when they face Barcelona. So that was...
I'm just going to keep quiet till that day.
Okay. Of course, brother. Of course.
But yeah, guys, tell us what you think in the comment section, and then tell us what you think about Real Madrid and where you think they'll finish the season.
Yeah.
I think they'll be first, but I'm going to leave for that.
I'm going to do predictions next week. Future predictions.
Yeah.
But let us know, guys, was Chelsea's 5-1 win against West Ham impressive to you? Let us know in the comment sections too.
Yeah. And now, to the coming week. The coming week has very, very interesting fixtures. Extremely interesting fixtures. The first one we're going to talk about is Liverpool versus Arsenal.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
That's going to be that's going to have a big impact to how the first half of the season is going to play.
Yeah.
Because Liverpool are playing at home. Arsenal is going to be visiting them. And I know that Arsenal is going to try to draw this game. I'm telling you. But at the same time, Liverpool's tactic is not really what we used to know. Both teams are having level 6 points. Arsenal are missing their star players with, in Bukayo Saka. They don't have Marcus Odegaard. So they're going to rely on these new guys to come in and make a change. It's going to be slightly difficult, but not impossible just because Liverpool has those defensive issues.
Yeah.
I do think that the first team to score is going to really have a big advantage in the game. If Arsenal scores first, I think they win. Because they're going to pack the bus.
But do you think, I feel like, do you think Liverpool cannot break? Liverpool is a very funny team though. They have the ability to go on an all-out attack.
Yes, they do. That's true.
Yeah, so what do you think about that all-out attack mode against Arsenal's defense? Because Arsenal's defense is good, man.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Yeah.
So what do you think of an all-out attack against an all-out defense?
I think they can score if they do that. I think Liverpool can score if they do that because sometimes, Liverpool has a way of beating down the top 5 teams in Anfield. They beat Manchester United 7-0. But at the same time, they haven't beaten Arsenal since like when Aubameyang was there.
Yeah.
So they've had multiple draws, and I think they've beaten Arsenal in like the FA Cup. But in the Premier League, those guys have been sharing points a lot. That's why I think that they might draw the game. But if someone has to win, we're definitely going to give the advantage to the home side, Liverpool, just because they are very balanced in the midfield and on the offense. So a draw game is going to be...
We can go first. If they draw, we can win and then go first or something, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I think they have a high chance of drawing the game. But if someone has to win, if you have to pick a winner, if you really have to, I would give the edge to Liverpool because they have the better offensive firepower. They have a much more stable midfield.
Yeah.
And then their defense and their home fans can really help them out, just because with those guys chanting at Anfield, it's going to scramble Arsenal and their communication might not be that effective. That's why I actually think they'll be a little bit more defensive as they did against Manchester United.
Yeah.
And Anfield is a much more hostile territory than Old Trafford.
Yeah.
So I do think that it's going to set the tone for the first half of the season because if Liverpool wins, it's going to give them a huge boost because they're going to be playing tougher games on the road this season. So they're going to be playing Man City on the road, and I think they're also going to play some other big teams. So it's going to give them a chance to actually rack up league points, But if they draw the game, there's still some things going to play as well. So I think that's going to be a very interesting game.
Yeah,
so
no one will want to lose that game, for sure. I feel.
Guys, tune in on Sunday 11:30.
No one.
We're not promoting. We love the Premier League, but it's not like we're promoters of the league. But I think it's going to be a very interesting, game to watch and follow. And then now I think the next game is Manchester United.
Oh, Sakito.
Okay, now they haven't won a game yet, right?
Yeah.
They lost to Arsenal. Arsenal is a top team. They've been second for 3 years in a row. So they're a very big team. They have already defeated Fulham. Fulham is also a very good team. They always finish top 10. So
yeah.
So now this is the game where you actually have to believe or not whether Manchester United can actually finish in the top 7, top 8, or top 10.
With Burnley, man. If they don't win this game, I feel like Amorim, his head will almost be on the chopping block. If you don't win versus Burnley that just came up, I feel like it'll be bad.
Do you think they're going to fire him if he loses, if Manchester avoids, if they don't win the game, do you think he's going to go?
It'll be bad. You know why it was going to be bad?
Yeah.
Because when you lose a game against Burnley before the international break, there's so much time for the management and things to look at that game and be like, what
is going on?
What the heck?
What is wrong?
Yeah. So obviously, if you win and then you win before international break, it gives you momentum to go into international break, But if you lose for an international break, there are going to be some talking points during that international break. And it's very normal that we'll see coaches being sacked around that period, most of the time, it's always around the second international break,
Yeah.
After 6 or 7 games have been played. But it's going to put him under a lot of pressure if they don't win that game. If they take a draw, it will still... I think fans will be booing at Old Trafford.
Yes, that's true.
They don't take a draw.
At Old Trafford.
But yeah, guys, what do you think about that?
Yeah, please tell us what you think. Because this is is it a must-win game though? I think it's a must-win game if you want to keep your job and you want to have a stable environment.
Yeah.
Because if you don't win against Burnley, then that's a big problem.
Valid.
That's really a big problem. If you don't beat Burnley at home, who else are you going to beat? You can't, you might beat Man City because it's a Manchester derby, but that's going to be a tough game for Man United. Do you think there's something that has to change, though, from a tactical perspective?
Oh yeah. I think that's a good one. First things first, I watched the game and it was very funny because how can you play in a system where like you're playing with 3 or like technically it's like 3, right? Then you in your midfield you're playing with Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro. It makes no sense that Bruno Fernandes is by far the most creative player in that team, even with the addition of Brian Buemo, Matheus Cunha, and then Sesko. Bruno Fernandes is by far the most creative player in that team. I'm not a United fan, for sure, but I will tell you right now, Bruno Fernandes is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League.
Yeah,
he has been
absolutely.
for more than 5 years. So, if your most creative player is so far away from the goal, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Left to me, you have Lenny Yoro, you have Delete. Who's a good centre backs, right? Pair them up with Dogu and maybe Dalo, I don't know. But change that formation to 4-3-3. Change it to 4-3-3. You don't have the players to play 3-5, 3-4-3.
Yeah.
You don't have those players. You know? Because when you play 3-4-3, I mean, it's kind of good, but you need to have 2 team players that are, how will I put it, extremely mobile. Then your creative guys are up top. Like when Chelsea played that kind of formation, they had N'Golo Kante and Matic. Kind of defensive players. Kante was a box-to-box.
Yeah.
But you don't expect that from Bruno Fernandes. Once you run a lot, for example, you don't have that power again to create. If you run a lot and tackle behind to make a slide tackle or seize the ball, and then you're trying to create again, it's not going to go, man. That pass is going to be one.
Yeah, exactly.
I can tell you the reason he even skied that penalty is because he has been walking a lot and then you're tired.
Yeah. He said the referee bumped into him and he wasn't happy.
What the heck, man? What the heck? So I feel like that's my take about it. It's just very funny. Your most creative like kind of behind it. And they are pairing him with Casemiro, man. Their legs it's not there. Like, you cannot pair Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro.
Yeah.
That's just not the pairing for your defensive midfield.
Yeah. And for me,
Carlos Baleba was there, it makes sense.
That would have been a big plus because he's going to be like a sitting or box-to-box. Casemiro's going to do the dirty work.
Yeah.
Or whatever. As a thing, in my opinion, they are shying away from a 4-3-3, at least, is because they don't have like a starting left winger like Doku or someone who is a right-footed player that can start on the left. Maybe that's why they're doing like a 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3 because Dogu is going to climb forward, to give a cross in. And then, who is that guy? Luke Shaw. He's going to cover him. And then now Cunha is playing up front. And now if Sesko has to get in, you're going to have to replace him with maybe one of the left wingers.
Last time they played with Mount, Cunha and Bruno, which doesn't make sense to me, right? Take out Mount.
Put Bruno up front, put a center midfielder to replace, to play with Casemiro.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then now you have Brian Buemo, who's like a right attacking midfielder, and then you have the other guy who's like a right wing back. So Ahmad, it's a formation that can help you out, but it's not been productive. It's not been producing goals.
It's not productive, exactly.
So bro, I think we're gonna see how they play against Burnley, but it's gonna be like a very good game to watch too because they'll try to score more goals. But Burnley has some guys that can actually run. The Premier League, everyone in the Premier League can do counter-attack.
Exactly.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the game plays out.
Anthony, that guy has been, and Lyle Foster, the guy from South Africa, trust me, very aggressive people.
Yeah.
Anthony Lyle Foster, very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
So it will be really an interesting game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you also have guys like Kyle Walker, who is a defender. He can actually direct those guys a little bit and they can do some offense. The last time Burnley played against United at Old Trafford, it was like a 1-1 draw. So it's not like Burnley's a very horrible team.
Yeah.
But that's a game that Man United has to win. So that's also like a very interesting game to watch.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Then now I think the next thing we are going to look at is definitely Champions League. Right?
Yeah. Before we go to the Champions League though, let's talk about your Chelsea. So you guys have an early kickoff game, right? 7:30 against Fulham.
I'll be watching that game.
I'm not going to bet on that game. I was going to say Chelsea, but Chelsea likes me, but you're preventing me from liking Chelsea. Like, since you guys won, had a clean sheet at the World Cup finals, I just started liking Chelsea. But when you go against Barcelona, you're telling me to go against Chelsea. But what do you think about that game? Do you think that's the game you guys can win? Because Fulham is not an easy team to beat.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Cole Palmer's an injury. It's kind of touch and go if you play. Mm-hmm. I feel like what will happen is we don't want him for international break. Because if he plays that game, they're going to call him up for international
And that's going to be risky.
It's going to be risky. So I think right now what we're doing is that we're trying to make sure that he's not called up for international break. So we're not giving positive injury updates on him. We're like, they're checking his groin, they're checking things like that. So we're not giving positive injury in these things.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't call him. If they don't call him up, okay, there's a possibility that he might come into play against Fulham, But if he doesn't play against Fulham, I would like to see how Estevao plays,
Okay.
And I think maybe they'll play Estevao on the right-hand side, Pedro on the left-hand side, and then they'll play Joao Pedro in the number 10 position.
I know who's going to be the striker.
Liam
Okay.
Delap. I think it's going to be a very, very good game, to be honest. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. I just hope. I think we're going to win. A solid win, probably about 3-1. I think Fulham just edges us well. We're trying to score one goal or something. But I think it's 3-1 is the first score for me.
Yeah. I mean, Sessegnon is a good right back. Anthony Robinson is a good left back. They have some decent guys at the centre back position. They've got, did Adama Traore play? I don't know if he
I don't think he entered that game. I can't remember very well.
But it's going to be interesting. And the last time Fulham played Chelsea, they won you guys actually.
No, we won 2-1 actually.
At the bridge.
They won us.
They beat you guys at the bridge.
But we won them 2-1 in there.
It's funny, right?
Yeah. So, but I hope it's not the same thing this time around, and we're really looking forward to it. Yeah. So what's the score prediction for Chelsea Fulham? Let's know.
Yeah.
Then now, the UCL draw.
That's going to be, August 27th. Was it August 28th?
Yeah, 27th.
Yeah, Thursday, August 28th, which is like today, basically, or maybe we were recording on the Tuesday. So
it comes out, yeah.
So what is going to be, the league phase was introduced last year, right? The new format was introduced last year. What is your take about that new format? Do you think it's an improvement? Do you think, it's not better than the last one?
I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense considering that I'll play you at your home and you don't get to play them at home during the group stages. But the only thing is that it gives the rise to a lot more entertaining games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously when you're in a group of 4 people where you're having Hapoel Beersheva, let me say Chelsea's or Hapoel Beersheva is with Genk or something like that. It's not really interesting. But right now, maybe with the league phase, we might probably play against Barcelona at Camp Nou, might probably play against Real Madrid or PSG, it's a little bit stronger. You might play like 4 strong games and then 2 weaker games. So the only thing is that it's a little bit more interesting. The games are more interesting, but I think in the future they'll work on that format. They'll do something to make it a little better.
Yeah.
It can get better from there, but yeah, I feel...
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. They're gonna be very cool matchups like we saw last year. So many big teams playing, and the good thing is that because it's a league phase, you really need all those points. So it's not like you can go try to get a 1-0 win on the road, pack your bus, come back home, defend it.
Yeah,
you have to get those points right now. But then what got me so skeptical about it is that you have many teams that actually play very hard. Like Liverpool won their first 7 games, and they didn't even have to play the last game like that. And they finished first. But they had to go play some games on the road. The second legs of those playoff games had to be on the road.
I think they just updated it right now.
If they did, then that's very good.
Yeah, so...
Because my initial thought was that, the first 8 teams would have home advantage throughout. Because it actually worked for that. But then you had Barcelona playing like the second leg on the road. Yeah. It's like, what's the point of finishing the top 8 if you're going to be having those home games?
It doesn't make any sense.
So, yeah, it's really going to be exciting, to see how the games play this time around. Like today, Celtic, I was looking forward to Celtic playing, but they lost.
Trash.
They lost.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be some new faces in the Champions League. But talking about the draws, though, which teams do you want to face?
I'm looking at Chelsea versus Barcelona. I'm looking forward to Chelsea versus Barcelona. That's what I'm looking forward to. Chelsea versus Barcelona. Obviously, we're a big PSG. We don't want the small children anymore. So yeah, at this point in time, I'm looking forward to Chelsea versus PSG. Chelsea versus Barcelona. I'm looking forward to, if we play Real Madrid, I think we're gonna win Real Madrid. So I'm thinking maybe Bayern. Yeah, I think we should first Bayern. So we want the big boys.
They should give you guys everybody.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Chelsea, and then at the end of the day, maybe add us like Atletico Madrid to spice it up. Because those two are bitches, man. We'll be there all the time.
Pause, though.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm looking forward to right now, to be honest. What about you? What do you think? Who do you want Barcelona to face?
First of all, why do you want to face Barcelona? I mean, you said you want to beat us, so you want to do whatever you want to do.
Man, like, Lamine Yamal has been doing a couple of things to people. Just, even though Sanchez, the left back for, what the team they played against, he traumatized for Levante. He traumatized Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal didn't do well in that game, to be honest. No assist. Or do you have an assist?
I guess they'll be packing the bus against us because that's how they play.
Do we pack the bus?
So if you're gonna play open, right?
Open.
Okay, good.
You saw with PSG. We are not scared of any. We're not scared,
bro.
And your highline, bro. Palmer will eat that. Trust me.
Cold Palmer, right?
It's gonna be all cold in there.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I want to see Lamine Yamal versus Cucurella.
Okay.
Cucurella has pocketed. He put Salah in his pocket. He put Desiree Doué in his pocket. He put Saka in his pocket. Like his pockets are full right now. So I want Lamine Yamal in there as well. You guys be hyping Lamine Yamal. Don't get me wrong. I feel he's a good player. But you guys are overhyping him.
What is it by hype, bro?
You guys are overhyping him, man. That guy gets into a match and he has 9 shots in his first match. He had about 8 shots in the second half, just kicking where he feels as if he wants to kick. You guys are giving him so much freedom. So you should chill, man. I want to face Barcelona. I want Barcelona. Just me, Barcelona.
I only have one thing to tell you. It is a stubborn rat that goes to sniff the cat's nose.
Okay, Petidochi.
Ramsey, yeah, this guy. So yeah, Chelsea's a good team. I'm going to give you guys that. For me personally, I want to face Arsenal and Liverpool.
Okay.
Just because I think those are 2 teams that can really play the game.
Okay.
Arsenal has a very good defense. Liverpool is a very balanced team. They can score, they can win games. And I want to just understand how our highline is going to face those English teams. I think we can handle Italy. We've learned our lesson from Inter Milan. I think PSG, they've been exposed by Chelsea.
Yeah.
So PSG has been exposed by Chelsea. So I want to face teams like Arsenal and Liverpool just because if they want to be defensive, they can really be defensive.
But one game that I was waiting for last season, like PSG Barcelona.
That's what everyone was waiting for.
In the group stages, if that game plays,
that's going to be fun.
It will be blockbuster. That will be blockbuster. Trust me. So yeah, that will be a good one. I'm looking forward to.
Okay, keep your biases aside.
Yeah.
Be very, very logical. Having watched your team demolish Chelsea, PSG, you guys exposed them. You guys ragdoll PSG.
Yeah.
If PSG plays against Barcelona, who do you think is going to win the game?
Oh yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm trying to tell you why. Because you guys might dominate on the ball, but it will be completely advantageous to them. Why? They have Fabian Ruiz, they have Vitinha, and then they have Dembele and Kvaratskhelia. They will walk off their butt, and once it's a counter attack, they will run. You guys will not hold them offside.
Okay.
And then, so just imagine Koundé playing against Kvaratskhelia. It's gonna be tough on you guys. Like, it will be so bad. I feel like the match could end probably like 5-4 or something in favor of PSG.
Okay.
5-4 in favor of PSG. So I think you guys will be a dog fight, but
Yeah. And then, what if the first game is going to be Barcelona-Madrid? What do you think will happen?
Well, man, to be honest, Barcelona gave me a lot of money when they were playing Real Madrid last year. Not because they're winning, but because they're pressing, kicking shots and everything. So, but I feel like Real Madrid they'll have to step up, man. They'll have to step up.
So, predict the game. Who's going to win the game?
If Barcelona plays Real Madrid.
Yes. The first game of the league phase.
I think it will be a draw. But yeah, guys, what do you guys think? I think when this comes out, the UCL draws will be out. So tell me which game you think is the best, absolute, like your best fixtures in Champions League draw and your predictions to it. So
I have a prediction. Chelsea is going to have under 3 wins in the Champions League phase.
Can we place the bet or can you just give me the money at once?
Relax, brother. You're going to bet against the sportsbook, not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I understand. Now I have a very, very good understanding of your hatred towards my team. We are going to draw against Madrid, even though we had the history last season. Of course, this is a new season.
Man, it's the Champions League, man.
I understand that.
Champions League is Real Madrid's competition.
Absolutely.
You need to respect them.
I have a big respect for Madrid. Okay. At the same time, you have a cat who thinks she's a lion. You understand? Okay, brother, before we move to the next segment, right?
Yeah.
I have only 2 questions for you. And these are just factual questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Factual questions. It's not subjective. You don't have to think too far, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the Champions League. 2 questions. I only have 2 questions, brother. Very easy questions. How many Champions League does Chelsea have?
In the last 10 years,
Oh my God.
in the last 10 years, we have one.
Wait. Okay, brother.
In the last 10 years, we have one. In the last 10 years, how many Champions League does Barcelona have?
Please, Cedric. Please.
In the last 10 years, how many Champions League does
Guys, can you tell him to just answer the question? Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Real Madrid won 5 Champions League before my grandmother was born. Okay? So, but they have 15. They will show 15 Champions League everywhere. They have 15.
Man, we're not history students, man.
No, but we love the game. We love the game. Okay, if you don't want to talk about... Okay, if you don't like history, I could ask you, how many Premier Leagues have Chelsea won in the last 8 years?
Oh.
Okay, that's another factual question. How many Premier Leagues...
That's it, guys.
Okay, hold on.
We're going to leave that for now.
But guys, let us know what you think about the Champions League draws. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So now, the next part.
Okay.
This is going to be like a new thing, guys. The Vault Quick Fires, right? Where we ask the first part, start, bench, cut. We're going to name 3 players. And then who are you going to start in your formation, who are you going to bench, and who are you going to sell or cut.
Yeah.
So, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So here, for my start bench third, the first player, I'm going to talk about some central midfielders.
Okay.
The first, I'm going to give you Federico Valverde.
Okay.
Second, I'm going to give you Enzo Fernandez. And the third, I'm going to give you Frankie de Jong. So, who will you start, who will you bench, and who will you cut? Let's be logical here. No fandom here. No fan stuff. Let's be logical here.
I'm looking at the players, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, from what I've seen so far, I'm going to start Valverde because he's very versatile. If the game gets difficult, he can score from outside of the box.
Okay.
And he can play so many different positions. He's a very good player. He can play the entire game. He's like a workhorse. So I'll go with Valverde first. And then I'm going to go with the maestro second, Frankie de Jong.
Who is the maestro?
Frankie de Jong is the maestro. I think he's a very creative player. He can actually control the entire game. He can decide to play a fast-paced game, or he can actually take it very slow. So I'm going to give Frankie de Jong that part. And then obviously unfortunately, I love Enzo. He had a very great World Cup 2022. He was a very big contributor to the team. But I just think de Jong can actually control the game effectively better than Enzo Fernandez. So that's what I do.
Some people should not have opinions, guys.
Some people should just be straightforward.
Some people should not have opinions.
It is easy to answer questions that are actually factual.
Okay.
But subjective opinions like this, there's no facts about it. It's my opinion. It's my opinion, right?
Opinion.
But I just asked you factual questions 2 seconds ago. How many Premier Leagues does Chelsea have in the last 3 years? You don't like history, right? You don't like history. I'm going back 3 years, 5 years. You don't answer.
Guys, some experts. Let me give you the field. Obviously, starting here, there's no other person but Enzo Fernandez. If you open his portfolio, a World Cup winner, club who just won the Club World Cup champions, Enzo Fernandez, he's a magician. You guys say he has played and Federico Valverde can score out of the box and everything. But do you know last season both of them had 8 goals each? But assists, Enzo had about 13 assists. And we're looking at center midfield. Don't tell me that he's a right back because they are playing as a right back.
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying from a performance perspective.
Enzo Fernandez is up there. He can play as a deep line, as a defensive midfielder like he did with Argentina. Very aggressive player when he played alongside Alexis McAllister. Very aggressive player. He can play forward like he's doing for Chelsea right now, where he goes up and then he contributes with goals like he scored against West Ham. Extremely. He can score a wall of a free kick like he did against Aston Villa 2 seasons ago. He's an extremely good player. Very young, World Cup winner, club. Like, man, what can you say? Second, I'm going to bring Federico Valverde in. Why Federico Valverde? Like you said, he's a workaholic. If you bring any coach, that will be his player. That will be his player. If you bring in any coach, they will want Federico Valverde inside after Enzo Fernandez because he's a workaholic. He can defend. Look at the tackle he had on Morata a couple of years against Atletico Madrid. Took the red card. He's a player for the team. He's going to give in one for the team. He's going to sacrifice. He's going to be everywhere, So I'm going to take Federico Valverde. And the last is Frankie de Jong. Obviously, it makes a lot of sense to me, Frankie de Jong, what does he bring to the team? He's a good player, but he likes passing the ball behind. You hold the ball, you want to turn, he gives it behind. You hold the ball, he gives it behind. Good and fine, he's not going to lose the ball for sure. But at the end of the day, how many goals will he score? Can't remember the last time Frankie de Jong scored. Think. It's not possible.
I have one question for you though.
What?
This is a hypothetical question, right? If Enzo Fernandez had moved to Barcelona over the summer, would you still have had him as your number one?
It depends on how he plays there.
No, if he had moved
to his performance now.
If Hugo went to Madrid and to Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
So I'm asking, after the Club World Cup, right? If Enzo had moved to Barcelona, would he still have been your number one?
You still have no, we'll never know because he didn't go.
Okay,
I mean, he's in a better team, though.
If he had gone to Barca, would you have had him as the number one?
I'm not saying. These are all hypothetical questions.
Yes, it is hypothetical.
We're not doing some.
This is hypothetical. I just want to understand.
We're not doing some analysis here and everything now. So let's be sincere. I'm not there.
First of all, your thing is wrong because he is definitely below Valverde.
I've given my take, guys. What do you think? What's your take on this?
Guys, let us know your own ranking.
Enzo Fernandez, Frankie de Jong, and Federico Valverde. Let's know your own ranking.
Yeah. It's actually funny because I also have like 3 midfielders and it's no surprise because we both play midfield. So I'm going to give you 3 players, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you Jude Bellingham. I'm going to give you Cole Palmer. And I'm going to give you Jamal Musiala. Go.
First things first. People rate Jamal Musiala a lot, I feel like he's a good player, but anytime I watch him play, I feel like he's always about to fall. He's always tumbling, always turning up and down, even though he gets out with the ball. They say he's the end that matters, so he's the end that, justifies the means. He's always tumbling with the ball. So first, I'm going to put Jamal Musiala as the last.
Okay.
I'm going to start there. Jamal Musiala.
So you're going to cut him?
I'm going to cut him for sure. He's always tumbling. He's good. He's technical in tight spaces. He's just going, but he's always about to fall. He looks lanky a little bit, so I don't know. He's just not my player. I think if I'm having a team and he's just not my player, so he's going to be I'm going to cut him. Then second, Jude Bellingham. He's a workaholic. If you want to score a goal like 2-3 seasons ago when Real Madrid, if you want to score a goal, it's going to be Jude Bellingham. If you want to run from defense, tackle, get up, fight for a ball, do anything, it's going to be Jude Bellingham, So I feel like Jude Bellingham is a very, very good prospect. Second is extremely good for him, And obviously, I know, Cole Palmer. Wayne Rooney has spoken about him, like, that guy has so much skill, like, he plays football like everybody else he's not even trying. He's not even trying, but he's doing so much. Cole Palmer is above. He's like, when it comes to attacking midfielders, he's up there. He has the free kicks. You saw his free kicks against hit the 2 bars. Like, he's there against Mike Mangan. He hit the 2 bars with AC Milan. Free kicks is there. To give a last pass is wonderful. To score a goal in the final, in a big game, he is there. He will score your goal in the Euro final. He's going to score your goal in the Club World Cup final.
Wait, what final did he score a goal?
In the Euro, when England played Spain, he equalized.
Okay.
Yeah, he equalized. So,
who won the game?
Spain won.
Oh, okay.
But Spain won, in extra time. But Cole Palmer is Cole Palmer, man. He's the best, like, by far. Look at his stats that he has. Not only stats, shots, everything, chances created. I feel like he's far above, man. So, Cole Palmer, Jude Bellingham, and Jamal Musiala.
Okay. Well, the poll just came in, and your ranking is an F. You failed the ranking, brother. So,
who is the poll?
70% gave Jude Bellingham, obviously.
Oh, for real?
When Madrid had issues with the striker, he was scoring so many goals.
They're just Madrid fans.
Bellingham, that was his nickname. Jude Bellingham. And then he also worked. Actually, the game between Madrid and PSG at the Club World Cup, I was in the game. I watched the game and I saw live how he was performing, an attacking player who tracks back, makes plays, a workhorse, kind of like Valverde. So he is the number one, in most people's opinions. And then secondly, you have Jamal Musiala. He's won the Champions League. He's won the Bundesliga. I mean, that's a different league, obviously. Man. But we want to talk about an attacking player. someone who can find spaces when you go to play against teams like Mallorca, Nottingham Forest, or you want to go on the road to play things like St. Pauli, where they don't care about winning. They just want to defend and get the point. You have guys like Musiala who step up, create those chances, and get goals. A couple of years back, when Bayern really had to win a Bundesliga, he was the one who scored the last-minute winning goal to win them the league. So you have guys, someone who has won the Champions League, someone who has, won the Bundesliga for Bayern Munich, So I just think, and most people think that, he's in a prime position. Obviously, Cole is not too far behind. He has a good Club World Cup. He's been very, very good for Chelsea, even though he had a big slump this year.
He's the Champions League winner too. Treble winner of Man City before he moves to Chelsea. Even though he didn't play there, but if you are calling trophies, I'm just putting that cup in.
We're talking about players,
I'm just putting the cup in there.
This guy, Joe Gomez, plays for Liverpool, but you're not going to be saying something about Joe Gomez, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about guys who had direct impact in the results of the game. So you actually had a big fail because you had Fapamba first. So, but guys, let us know what you think about these three attacking midfielders. Who would you start, who you bench, and obviously where you're gonna cut.
Okay. Now, let's go to something else. I'm gonna ask you quick fire question. Okay, who are the top 3 people who have assisted Lionel Messi in his career?
Top 3?
Yeah.
My GOAT. So MSN, he played a lot with MSN. I'm gonna go with Suarez.
Okay.
And then 2005 all the way till 2015 when Xavi retired, I would say Xavi.
No.
Xavi wasn't there?
Yep.
Iniesta?
2 strikes, 1 left. Nope.
Iniesta is not there?
No.
He's not there?
Iniesta is not there.
Dani Alves?
Yes. Last one.
So we had Suarez, Dani Alves, Busquets?
No. You're fair.
What's the position? Give me one more chance.
If I give you the position, you obviously know the player. If I tell you it's a right back or left back, you know the position, you know the player.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's a left back, obviously, Jordi.
Oh, Alba?
Yeah, Jordi.
Interesting.
Alba. Yeah, so.
Wow. Okay. Next.
Yeah. What are the 3 people highest assists to Cristiano Ronaldo?
High 3?
Yeah, 3 highest assists to Cristiano Ronaldo.
BBC, Benzema, Bale?
Yep, Benzema first, Bale second.
And then the Messi Ozil.
It's a big club, you need to know those things. You cannot have
I'm a serious
La Liga about Barcelona, but you need to know about Real Madrid.
You just score goals everywhere. But Madrid had a formula. It's either BBC or no one else. But we had guys who were scoring here and there, brother. So you gotta give us the credit over there.
Yeah, over to you.
So who did Bayern beat to win the 2013 Champions League final?
Obviously, Borussia Dortmund.
Borussia Dortmund, they're classical.
Yeah, classical. I remember with a good goal going by the side of the goalkeeper, man.
Yeah, that one, no one can forget. No one can forget that one. And then the second question, name the 6 current Premier League teams that have won the Champions League.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
Yeah. Obviously,
I'm going to start with Chelsea. Chelsea, obviously.
How many Champions League do they have?
We have 2.
2? Oh.
It's a great number.
Oh, okay.
We have 2 Champions Leagues. After Chelsea, I'm going to go with Liverpool, Manchester United, Man City, Aston Villa, and then there's one other team. Let me think. Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. Most people don't know Nottingham Forest had 2 Champions League.
But it's been long, man. They have a good history, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. And then, how many more questions do you have?
I have just the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Technical one. Who was the first player to score a hat-trick in Premier League? In the Premier League history from 1991. Who was the first player to score a hat-trick in the Premier League history?
First player to score a hat-trick in Premier League history. How many tries do I have? I'll give
3.
3 tries. Aguero?
No. First player. That was from 91. I call Aguero.
91?
Yeah, Premier League. When
Sadio Mane, Liverpool?
No, the first hat-trick, not the fastest hat-trick.
Oh, the first hat-trick.
The first hat-trick.
Okay, give me which team?
He was playing for Leeds.
I don't know.
Guys, who was the first player to score a hat-trick in the Premier League?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, and then one more question for me. Which player has the most La Liga appearances in history?
Dang. And most people think maybe Lionel Messi, but I don't think it's Lionel Messi. I think it's there was this goalkeeper for Atletico Madrid or something. I'm just gonna go with Lionel Messi.
One more try.
Who could I meet? Xavi Hernandez?
No.
Nah, man. I'm not good for that.
Okay. So before we go to the next episode, I'm going to give you the answer. But guys, let us know. The player is Andoni Zubizarreta.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think he played in Bilbao, right?
Oh yes, of course. He googled it.
What exactly? He played in Bilbao? I can remember the name very well.
Yeah.
Because they have a history of playing only Basque players, so they have that very good history. The team that plays only Basque players, Atletico Bilbao, you can check it out. They have a very good history, a rich history. It was, I think, the same thing used to happen between Atletico Bilbao and Real Betis. They used to play only players.
Even Valencia too.
Yeah. So
back in the days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, I think just Bilbao does that. So yeah. So that's it for the first section of the podcast. So thank you guys very much. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And now we're going to the second part, which is very, very interesting. This now will be the betting segment. Sports betting. So right now, going to sports betting is going to be it's going to be very lively. We're going to tell you guys, we're going to walk you how we make picks, not going through the whole long road of maybe everything in mind, but I'm just going to walk you through when you see a match, what are some of the things we consider, and then obviously we don't know everything, so we expect you guys to also tell us how you consider a couple of things, who you think is the best thing for the weekend as well. So yeah, that's exactly how we're going to be looking at this segment.
So we want to start with the Premier League.
Yeah.
So first game of the Premier League, we have Chelsea against Fulham.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to bet on that game?
Oh, yeah. So checking stats for that one, Chelsea against Fulham, I'm definitely going to bet on that because I'll be watching it live at the bridge. So I'm going to definitely bet on that. So Chelsea against Fulham, what I'll be betting on? I'll be betting on Chelsea shots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chelsea shots. I think I have a line here of about 14.5, 15.5 shots. But I'm going to go with about 14.5 shots, which has like an odd of 1.4 something. So it's like a great odd. So Chelsea shots, I feel like Fulham are going to sit back. They don't have a lot of flying wingers except maybe Alex Iwobi, except maybe they play Adama Traore.
Yeah.
They're going to sit back and then hope to maybe counter a little bit. So I think Chelsea will try to kick as much as possible. The only thing is that when Fulham gets the ball, they'll pass the ball a lot, but I feel Chelsea will have a lot of shots and then also corners. So I'm going to go with Chelsea shots and then also Chelsea corners. And then there's also another good pick, which obviously, like, I'm going to introduce that, goal kicks. There's some sports betting sites that have goal kicks. So
wow.
If you see that, that's a very good one. So I'm going to go with Chelsea shots. I'm going to go with Fulham goal kicks. Fulham goal kicks just simply stems from the fact that Chelsea will kick a lot of shots off target, considering that some of our strikers, they kick a lot of shots.
They're not accurate.
They're not accurate a lot. So I'm going to go with Fulham goal kicks. I'm going to go with Chelsea shots and Chelsea corners.
Wow, interesting game. Yeah. I just say, the last time Fulham played against Chelsea in the Stamford Bridge, they beat you guys, right?
Yeah.
They beat you guys. So they might still beat you guys. History always repeats itself, right? Okay. And then they have two solid wingers, which I think Chelsea likes to play from, likes to use their wingers a lot. Pedro Neto and Estevao. But I think Robertson is going to match well with Estevao, and I also think Sessegnon, he's really solid. He had a very good game against United. Obviously, United had no one on the right wing to challenge him like that.
Yeah.
But I do think Fulham can actually stay in the game with Chelsea. So I'm not going to bet on that game. But if I were to bet, I would take Fulham plus 1.5 on the game spread. That's like 1.52.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to add that to a parlay. It's like a very long parlay. Just because I think if Chelsea tries to win the game, if they have to win, I don't think they're going to blow them out. I don't think it's going to be like a 3-0 win or 2-0 win. I think it will be like a 1-0 or 2-1.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give the edge to Fulham just because, as you mentioned, after this weekend is international break. And Fulham are actually undefeated. Even though it's 2 draws, they're undefeated. So I just think they might try to hang on, and maybe try to get 1 more point or all 3 points, depending on how the game is played. But if Chelsea scores first, it's going to be a big problem. But for me, I'll go with Fulham plus 1.5, but I'm not going to bet on it though. I just I'm going to have it in a long parlay.
Yeah. Next game we have United vs Burnley.
No bet for me, brother. I'm not betting on this game. I don't trust United yet.
Okay.
I do think there's going to be a lot of shots and corners.
Yeah.
Just because United is going to be desperate.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be trusting them to do that. I don't trust them to cover a prop for me yet. I did have them. I had them to either win or draw against Fulham, so they won me a bet this weekend. But win and draw is really common. But betting on United to win is like telling your sister to do your job for you.
Yeah.
So I don't trust United yet. Do you have a bet for that?
Yeah. So United Burnley, I feel they definitely want to win this game. They want to win. They want to blow out if possible because they'll be playing at Old Trafford. If they don't win, they'll be booing them. So what I have here is the same thing like Chelsea. So I'm going to go with Manchester United shots. Over 15.5 shots.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's going to be
that's interesting.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
They'll shoot a lot of balls. I think they'll probably change the line.
Pause. A lot of balls.
Yeah, so I think Chelsea vs Burnley. United vs Burnley. So I'm going to go with United shots. That's what I'm going to be looking out for. And then I'm also going to be looking out to play on that 12.5 shots for Burnley.
Oh, okay.
Burnley, I think they'll sit down a lot. And I think Man United will press continuously because it's Old Trafford. I don't think at any point in time they'll sit back. So I'm going for United shots and then Burnley on that 12.5 shots. Then also Burnley goal kicks. So I think it's some sort of about 1.8, 1.9 odds. So I think that's a good one as well.
That's very interesting because United had over 20 shots against Arsenal.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. I might tell it, but I don't think I'm gonna have any confident bet in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next one I think is Spurs against Bournemouth. Do you like anything there?
Spurs against Bournemouth. I feel I'm not gonna place a bet on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Spurs right now I'm unsure on how they are playing.
Yes.
Because playing against a high pressing team like City, they could press City, take the ball, kick immediately to the pole. But against Bournemouth, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to go.
Yeah.
Because against Burnley, once they scored, for example, they just sat down. They didn't do much. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure exactly how they'll play. And I'm somebody that I like to play on things that, no matter how the game is going, it's going to be common. Like, for example, shots. If you're playing at home, you always kick and stuff. But Spurs for this scenario, they don't do that. Once they're winning, they'll become comfortable. And it's probably Bournemouth who, if they attack them. So I'm not sure exactly how that will go.
Yeah.
So it's looking a little bit funny. But I think Spurs will win though. I think Spurs will win. I think they have the edge. But I'm not going to bet on them.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make much sense to me. So I'm going to skip that out.
Yeah.
I will not bet on Spurs versus Bournemouth.
Yeah. And the history between these two teams is very funky. You haven't had like a consistent winner here in the past. And Bournemouth, they have the moments. They could step up today and they could just play the game. Like they almost had a draw against Liverpool, but you had Mohamed Salah who came out with that magic at the end. And then you have a Tottenham team who show a lot of potential. They can play up front, they can press now, they can defend if they really have to.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a bet right here. I have to watch the game. I'm gonna watch the game. And then I really see where Tottenham are right now. So I'll pass over there. Yeah, and then you got Wolves haven't won a game so far. 2 losses. And they're playing Everton on the road. Everton, they managed to beat who did they play?
1-2-0. I think Brighton.
And then obviously they lost on the road to Leeds. So now, do you think Wolves can pull off the win at home before they go for the international break, or you think that's not a...
I'm not going to bet on it. Just because last season, I think Wolves began like how many games losing everything, and there's always a team in the Premier League that goes like for the first 4, 5, 6 games without winning anything. Mm-hmm. And it kind of looks like Wolves, man. They saw their best player, Mateus
Cunha is out. So the good left back, Ainuri is out.
It's out as well. So I just think it's difficult, right? And there's always a Premier League team that goes like 4, 5, 6 games on without winning a game. So it might be Wolves or West Ham. So I'm just going to avoid touching those kind of teams right now.
Oh, yeah.
Everton have Jack Grealish. He's kind of informed James Garner, a couple of people, Tieno Barry. So I'm just going to avoid that game. So that's it. I don't talk much about that.
Yeah.
Same thing with Sunderland versus Brentford. Same thing. Brentford won 1-0 against Aston Villa. Sunderland won 3-0 against West Ham, but they all lost their second match. So it's kind of shaky there as well. So nothing there for me. What about you?
Yeah, same thing. I'm not going to be betting on that Sunderland game and Brentford. I just think I don't really have confidence in Brentford yet, especially on the road without guys like Brian Buemo. So, and then Sunderland, hell no. I don't think I'm going to bet on those guys ever. I mean, not this season because that's the promotion team, unless they are playing their fellow guys. Maybe when Burnley goes to play them, you could add them in a long parlay, but you cannot have them in the lock just because you can't trust those teams, But the next game, though, I'm going to bet on it. I'm going to bet on Leeds against Newcastle.
Very interesting.
I think that is going to be a fun game, and it's a prime time game because it's going to be at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. So Newcastle just played yesterday or Monday against Liverpool. They lost Gordon to red card, so he's probably going to miss the game.
Yeah, definitely.
This guy went out with Tonali had a shoulder injury, and they had Joelinton who was limping. They don't have Isak.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a stressful game for them on the road. Now, Leeds are coming off of a loss, like a 5-0 loss to Arsenal. But they had a good game, though. It was a manageable game in a way. Yeah. Arsenal was just too clinical. But I do think that Leeds can try to win the game, or at least avoid defeat. So I think they're going to press. They're going to play open. I'm going to bet on Leeds corners.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very solid pick. Leeds corners. I'm going to bet on Leeds corners and Leeds shots. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a very valuable one for me. So yeah, I'm going out that.
Yeah, and guys, when you want to bet on corners or shots, you gotta lay some good numbers. One thing I've decided not to do forward is to bet on over high numbers like 8.5. I don't know bet on those big numbers because you're asking the team to do a lot. Yeah. And this early into the season, teams don't really care to do a lot of stuff like, win 5-0 or 4-0 because it's too early in the season. Like Arsenal at home, they had less than 3 corners against Leeds. That is crazy, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So if I want to take corners right now, I'm going to just lay numbers like 5.5, or most corners. That way you can have a team, if they're down, if you perceive them to be down, or if they have to win the game, like Leeds right now, I'm going to take Leeds. And I think the odds is like 1.9 for Leeds to have the most corners. So corner money line, I'm going to take Leeds at 1.9 right now. That's my pick. You have anything outside of corners?
Yeah, I think I'll take corners, but I don't know about the money line because...
No, I mean like the corner money line, so like the corner winner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the thing is that Newcastle is a very funny team. Newcastle played Aston Villa at home and they pressed Aston Villa like mad. Mm-hmm. They had Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon, and Antonio Langa pressing down. So I don't know if... Because I think now they'll probably start with William Osula as a striker and then Harvey Barnes and Antonio Langa. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they'll try to press Leeds and everything. And so it's kind of touch and go. I'll probably go above like maybe over 5.5 or 6.5.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. So that way you don't have to worry about who is that's true.
And the thing's also still very high as well.
Yeah, so, I don't know the over, the line. What's the corner line? Is it like 5.5?
It was very high as well.
So... Leeds total corners is 2. If they get up to 6 corners, that's like 2 out, like plus 100. That's even better. That's better than sweating the money line.
Exactly. So yeah, they have 10 and then Newcastle has 11.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. So yeah, that's a good one. Leeds over 5.5 corners because they always press at home. They press at home.
And even if they're winning 3-0, they press at home. Relentless.
Yeah, and then this is a game that they have to win. Not only win, but they have a lot of goal difference to make up for because they had like a -5 against Arsenal. So that's going to be what I'm going to take. And then now you have Sunday, Man City against Brighton. Man City is traveling to Brighton.
I think Man City will try to win, but Brighton is very stubborn, man. They know how to play like man. They pass. Like, that team is so good, man. Carlos Baleba, when he came on last night against Man City,
oh boy,
he tormented them.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see Carlos Baleba versus Tijani Reinders.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
Interesting one, but I don't think I'm going to bet on that game.
Yeah, I was. If you had a gun to my head, I would have taken Brighton to win or draw, just because Man City sometimes
they're shaky, man.
They're shaky, and then they're not really that clinical. Man City without Rodri. They don't recover the ball that easily and they don't dictate the game. Before, like when they won the Champions League that season, you will see them dictate the tempo of the game. They'll say, all right, we want to post breaking the guys down. You see them breaking the team down, making comfortable passes. But right now, they lose possession easily. They find it difficult to play from the back. So I don't trust Man City yet. But I'm not going to bet on that game though. I'm going to leave it alone.
Yeah, next one, Nottingham Forest, West Ham. I mean, that's kind of like it looks like a Nottingham Forest win, because West Ham is so down right now, except they buy a player before that game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because the attack is depleted, man. You cannot sell Mohamed Kudus. And I'm hearing right now that another team wants to buy Lucas Paqueta. You cannot sell Mohamed Kudus and then you have no one. And you're playing Bowen out of position. It's not going to work, man.
Yeah.
And Fulkrug, I mean, he scored against Chelsea and was dancing, even though he was ruled offside. But, man,
Nicholas Fulkrug.
They need to do better, man. If not, they'll be looking at relegation. A big team like West Ham can't be looking at relegation.
Yeah, that's going to be...
You can't have your fans leaving the field during the first half.
That is crazy.
It's not the first time. Arsenal did this to them last season, and we have done it against them. 2 games that it's been terrible. So I think I'm probably looking at Nottingham Forest to win, probably in a parlay, just because I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But yeah,
they have the moments too that they can draw games. They had like a 1-1 draw over the weekend. So against Crystal Palace. So you can't really have them as a lock. Sometimes to bet on a team to win, you have to trust them that if they go down, they have the offensive firepower to get back into the game. Yeah. But even though West Ham's defense is so bad right now, you can't trust Chris Wood and the other guys to really come in there and make a difference. So I'm not going to bet on that game, actually. I'm going to leave it alone. Now, the game of the week, Liverpool versus Arsenal. We spoke about it earlier. These are 2 teams that are really Premier League contenders. Liverpool was the first last season. Arsenal came in second. Are you going to bet on that game?
Liverpool-Arsenal is going to be very, 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 very tricky, right? That's the kind of game that it could go either way. Like, right now, I feel they will try not to, each team will try not to lose the game. Instead of winning, I feel like each team will try not to lose the game.
Especially Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because that's like a road game for them.
So that game, if I want to play something, right, I'll not play like maybe Arsenal shots or Liverpool shots or Arsenal corners or Liverpool corners. I'm going to play like a combined total. Because one team is going to be pressing at some point, because if any team scores first, they are going to sit down defensively. Mm-hmm. Same thing like Liverpool. When Liverpool was winning Newcastle, they sat down defensively, even against 10 men. So I think it's going to be the same thing here. If the score goes down, Arsenal will present, have a lot of corners and stuff like that. Same thing, if Arsenal scores first, Liverpool turn on the lights and press as much. So I'm focusing on like total corners for both teams or total distance for both teams. That's kind of where I'm going to look at. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to look at. But normally, even though people think there'll be goals, I don't think there'll be goals.
Yeah,
it can easily end 1-0 or 0-0.
Very, very possible.
So yeah, I don't think I'll be betting on that. So I don't think I'll be doing that kind of bet. Maybe total corners or something. But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's actually funny, right? Because out of the last 8 games or more that Arsenal played against the top 5 on the road, it's been either draws or very low scoring games.
Yeah.
Because on the road, Arsenal finds they just pass the balls and then they try to defend. So I just think it's going to be a tough game for them to win. Obviously, it's Anfield.
Yeah.
And Liverpool, there's some sort of rivalry that's building up right now. I do like Liverpool to have over 4.5 corners. That's a line. Over 4.5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a good line.
1.74 on.
That's a very good line. I didn't see that.
Because, I mean, whenever it comes to corners, right, there's a question you have to ask yourself first. Is it going to be easy for them to score or difficult? For me, I think it's going to be difficult for Liverpool to score first. Not that they won't score, but it's going to be difficult. Arsenal's going to pack the bus first. And Liverpool have some defensive issues, which means Arsenal could also score.
And if they score,
it's a wrap. They turn on the Jets.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bet on Liverpool over 4.5 corners at 1.7 odd.
Great bet.
I'm going to try something else. I'm going to take correct score of 0-0. Hear me out. Arsenal don't have Saka. They don't have Odegaard.
Yeah. And
I think they're going to have some difficulties creating those chances and scoring goals against Liverpool at Anfield. That's one thing I feel like Arsenal will struggle with. On the other hand, I do believe that they have what it takes to defend and maybe stop Liverpool. I mean, for a few, parts of the game. But they might be able to stop Liverpool by defending the entire game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a correct score of, guess what? 0-0, brother. 0-0. 12 odd.
Jesus Christ.
0-0. You can put your rent on that. No, guys, stop. I'm joking.
Okay.
Yeah. So are you going to be taking anything over there?
Yeah, I think that just try the Twitter corners, and then I'm definitely going to look into Liverpool corners. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier.
Yeah, I have it on this other sports book.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then finally, the last game of the Premier League, we have Aston Villa vs Palace.
I'm going to actually have Villa to win in the parlay.
Okay.
Just because they haven't won a game yet.
Yeah.
A game at home before the international break. And they want to finish top 4 because they want to keep their Champions League aspirations alive. Crystal Palace don't have Eze anymore. So they might not have that creativity up front like they did before.
Yeah.
And the Villa Park is crazy. I don't think Aston Villa have the guys to actually make those moves up front and get them to win. So it's not going to be on my best bet or my luck. It's going to be in the parlay, just having Aston Villa to win the game. So that's what I'll take. It's like 1.95.
Okay.
So I'm going to have that. And then maybe draw no bet. It's like 1.4. That's not really good enough.
Yeah.
You could take draw no bet, which means if they draw, refund the money.
Yeah.
If they win, the bet is won. 1.4 is not bad. But I'll take Aston Villa to win in a long parlay, but I'm not going to have it on my best bet. Do you think you're going to bet on that yet?
Yeah, I'll be betting on Aston Villa shots.
Okay.
Just because Crystal Palace going for...
Oh, low block.
Yeah. That's very low block. So Aston Villa will try and they will shoot as much as possible. And then Crystal Palace now is focusing only on counter-attacks, with Mateta Asa and then Daniel Munoz running down the flank. Eze isn't there anymore. Eze could hold the ball and maybe do a couple of tricks and flicks and get a foul and everything. But the fact that he isn't there, the ball will be in Crystal Palace half.
Yeah,
will be in Crystal Palace half and they'll be pressing and everything. So I'll be going with Aston Villa shots. And I think that wraps up our Premier League match play.
Yeah. I'm going to check the corner line though. I don't know why. I've noticed that when it comes to soccer, right, it is difficult. The value is on corners or shots.
Yeah.
The value. Just because the public always go with the favorite. So you have Man City to win 1.2. You have so many teams to win. And it's not like a guaranteed odds to win, Yeah. The game could draw and you have the probability is very low. The probability of a team winning, regardless of the odds, is like 1.1/3. So when you have corners, that's like a 50-50 chance. It's either it's over 5.5 or it's under 5.5. If it's exactly 5, that's under. So it's like a two-way, it's like a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think shots and corners for Aston Villa could be profitable, but I'll lean on the win just because I believe they can get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guys, I have another interesting pick here. Of recent, I've been looking at Barcelona versus like the previous match they played against Levante, the first match as well, and I've seen that Barcelona, when they are playing away, the teams attack vigorously, and with that, those teams always have offsides.
Okay.
So we have some good sports books that actually offer offsides for the opponent teams. So I think that's what I'm going to be betting this weekend. I'm going to be betting offsides for against Barcelona.
Okay.
Vallecano,
yeah.
I'm going to be taking their offsides. Probably about 4 or 5. So that's what I'm going to be looking at as well. I'm not sure of the odds right now because they are not out yet, but I'm going to be betting Vallecano offside. So that's also my pick out of the Premier League.
Yeah.
Do you have any interesting pick out of the Premier League right now?
So out of the Premier League, as a Barcelona fan, this is going to be our last. It's actually funny. Our first 3 games are all on the road.
Yeah.
Our first 3 games of the season. So I do believe that we're going to win this game. 1, because Vallecano plays offensive ball. So they're going to actually be open a little bit. That's going to give us some chances to score some goals. Now, they might score 1 goal for us, against us, sorry. So I think FC Barcelona over 1.5 goals total. I'm going to have that in a parlay. So Barcelona team total over 1.5. That's like 1.32. It's not really valuable, but I can add that to a parlay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then talking about, you're going to do offsides, right?
Yeah.
But outside of that, do you have anything else in La Liga, like Madrid against Mallorca? Madrid has been very generous with corner kicks right now.
Yeah, corner kicks and shots.
And Mallorca is a bust. It's a bust team.
They're going to pack the bus. So I'm looking at that as well. But the thing is that the odds are very low.
Yes. So, and if they're going to give a line to Madrid at the Bernabeu, he's going to be at like 7. And that's like a huge number to lay.
Yeah, so I'm going to be avoiding that. But I think these are the major bets that we have for this weekend, considering that other teams like League One, Paris odds is always so low. So, I mean, there are other interesting matches we're looking at Marseille and other interesting teams. But for now, we're going to fade them. For now, we're going to let it be and then wait till after the international break to probably consider them. But yeah, guys, I think those are our best Premier League picks. So you guys tell us what your best picks are. Tell us what our best picks are, and then tell us if you feel like some of this analysis have you think something a little bit different about it. So tell us in the comment section.
Yeah.
And then tell us your best pick as well, so
we can probably, look at your team in the future, like your best, you can give us a streak.
Exactly.
You might be hard and we might tell you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And we have an IG channel at the Score Vault. You can always message us and tell us what you think about the specific matchup.
Exactly.
Tell us what your best bet is. My best bet so far, I just saw Liverpool's line right now. 4.5 is really low.
Yeah.
And I think Arsenal is going to pack the bus. So my best bet is Liverpool over 5.5 corners, 1.76. I'm going to be betting my tuition on it. Obviously, I'm joking.
Yeah, I'm joking. I might be joking.
I mean, you have a history of betting your tuition on it. So Liverpool over 4.5. I love that.
Yeah,
I really love that. I'm going to take that. Do you have like a best confident bet?
Yeah, I think my best confident bet will be Chelsea shots.
Okay.
Yeah, Chelsea. I'm looking at Chelsea shots. I think that would be one of my most comfortable bets. And then Aston Villa. I'm looking at a particular player. If, for example, if there's some particular players that if they start, that's what I'll be looking at. So I think Aston Villa and then Chelsea. So
yeah,
I think that wraps up our betting segment. And yeah.
We might actually have a long parlay, like a 10-odd parlay. So guys, follow us on Instagram at the Score Vault. If something comes up, we might give like a 5x parlay or a 10x parlay.
I'm thinking actually 20x. I have a 20x parlay already.
Exactly. Cedric's going to cook this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Trust me.
Yeah. So guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We love your support so far. About the UCL draws, tell us what you guys are thinking about the upcoming, who you want to face. And, next week, the NFL begins. My NFL, guys. I love the NFL. I'm a Super Bowl champion.
Okay.
The Eagles.
We hope you share that money.
The Eagles will be back next week, Thursday, to be playing. And I have a bet. It's not going to be like a logical bet. Remember Florida?
Yeah.
We have a story. We'll tell you guys next week.
Yeah.
So guys, tune in next week. The NFL begins. It's very exciting. And I actually love the NFL. But just tune in next weekend. There's going to be so much interesting betting on the NFL, discussing the NFL. We're going to have future predictions next week for the Premier League, the Serie A, La Liga, and the NFL. So, till then, you guys stay safe, like, share, and subscribe, and we're going to see you guys next week.
Thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful week.